the line and break the fire. I'm setting all the captives free, but I'm hanging by a wire. All those suckers know my name, but I just gotta fight the fight. They love to play those dirty games. From the dark will come a light. Look out, I'm coming. Look out, I'm a dangerous man. Shaking like the Holy Ghost. Better run and be afraid. They tremble when they hear my voice. I knew there would come a day. They say that I'm a wanted man. They got a bounty on my head. They're drawing lines up in the sand, but I'll rise up from the dead. Look out, I'm a trouble man. Look out, I'm a dangerous man. Yeah. Oh, I'm a dangerous man. Yeah. Oh, I will survive. I'll stand and fight. Better run and hide. 'Cause I'm a dangerous man. Look out, I'm coming. Look out, look out, I'm a trouble man. Look out, I'm a dangerous man. Oh, I'm a dangerous man. Oh, I'm a dangerous man. I will survive. I'll stand and fight. Better run and hide. 'Cause I'm a dangerous man. I will survive. Gonna stand and fight. Oh, 'cause I'm a dangerous man.
Happy Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. Well, there was some discussions taking place down in the Rock of Little and over at the Bella Vista City Council work session tonight. I think we got some stuff to break down, brother. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. Let's do it. It's like the funky comedian. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. All right.
Tone Loc, right?
Dude, Tone Loc, bro. Back in the day, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it.
So, man.
You went to the city council work session tonight. I was at soccer practice doing the soccer dad thing. And gotta say, dude, first practice went off like, dude, way better than the very first practice. Okay. Like,
awesome.
Dude,
awesome.
The team as a whole doing their thing, man. They're all in sync. I mean, like, it's like amazing what one season of soccer does. And then when you take that break and you go back into it, and how the kids are just like team, dude. And it was great watching.
Awesome. That's good stuff, man.
So you went to the work session, brother. What are your takeaways from it? I need to break down. I've watched some of Kevin's video, but I want your assessment.
Some quick bullet points. They continue to flip the R1 residential over to the commercial C1 properties. That process is still going along.
That's with POA owned property, right?
Yep. Yeah, they continue to flip those. So we don't know what's behind that, but we kind of do. the value, the value. I
We
think
we
the
got
biggest-
we got a comment over here. I got to read this one. Uric Norton, thank you for the comment, brother. We appreciate it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Boys, we got fireworks. Jerry Snow quote: "This should have happened a long time ago." SB 197, the one man with the defense of our rights. That is right. Jerry Snow has actually been a proponent of constitutional rights. He's about one of the only ones on the city council at this point that I think we can define as a constitutionalist. Cares about the people, a man of the people, loves the people,
Thanks,
the whole
Jerry.
9 yards. Thanks, Jerry. We appreciate that, brother. Man, we didn't even know he was. Or not? Was it?
Uric.
Well, I got Uric and a Jerry over here.
Wow,
So
double,
Uric
man.
and Jerry, a double downer right there. But
Yeah.
look, man, there it is. See,
There's Jerry.
double downer. It came in, dude. I mean, like I see it before y'all see it. Magic. It's that magic interweb stuff. But dude, there's a lot going on, man, with Bella Vista. Bella Vista is being
Yes.
recommended down or talked about heavily down in the Rock of Little state capital.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. There was a couple discussions tonight that kind of took me back. The Veterans Council, the Wall of Honor. We've been talking about that for a while. There's expansion plans. They're looking, what it looks like to me, they're looking to transfer deed on the property over to the city or possibly the POA, which is kind of odd to me, to
Yeah.
manage the property.
I'm friends with a lot of the people over on the Vets Council. Obviously, I'm a veteran. I've done stuff to help them out, and they've helped us out too when we put up cameras to monitor the dam situation. We sat down with them, talked with them, and said we'd like to put up a cellular-based camera to monitor the situation with the dam, and then we actually were able, Friends of Little Sugar Creek, we were able to see the water problem, and ultimately not a water problem after the dam breached. So obviously I know a lot of those people over there. I know Lisa. I did reach out to Lisa and asked her point blank about, like, why are you considering deeding this over to the POA or the city? Hopefully I'll get a response, bro.
Yeah, I mean, rather leave that as a private endeavor. That way you don't have the city and you don't have the POA charging more fees, or the city more taxes. You know how it works, man. It doesn't stop.
There has to be provisions in there to make sure that it remains what it is, right?
Right,
It doesn't get
right.
sold or turned into I don't know. I mean, I could see Bentonville saying, man, we want to turn this into a food truck court, right? And dude, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Yeah, I don't think from the Veterans Wall it's nefarious or anything. I was just caught off guard by it, man. It's just like,
Yeah, it's weird.
that's
weird.
not what the city and the POA should be doing at the end of the day. And I mean, we should be able to find an independent group of veterans, or a veterans group that should be able to maintain that. Hell, I mean, the citizens of Bella Vista, we could donate our time to work on that. I mean, it's not a huge area to mow, to keep, cleaned up and managed. So,
Got another comment from Uric, man. Uric, I just got to say, slow your roll a little bit, bro. We're getting there. We're going to get there, okay? All right? We're going to talk about everything that you're addressing in the chat right now.
Yeah,
Trust
we're
me,
gonna get there.
we have analyzed this. We've broken it down, and we have a proper format tonight, all right, bro? We do.
So-
Last night, I was just in a dark place. That's why that video is not out there anymore. But
So on the original agenda we got before I got in there, I was trying to figure out what was going on with the SB2 rock, which they were using
Yeah,
for additional
crushed
parking
SB2
spaces.
is the approved parking surfaces. I've heard that mantra from the city code
Right.
enforcement people several times, and I'm like, dude, my boat's here.
Yeah.
It's hooked up to my vehicle. I can't park it on the street.
Yep.
Where do you want me to park? I have a
Right.
I have a circle parking drive. I mean, dude, I would open that up for like mountain bikers to just
Yeah.
come over and park if you need to park and you want to hit the Rago Trail section. But because the city's sitting there constantly monitoring it and all that, right? But I found out that we were grandfathered in. I found this out like a few years ago, like the grandfather clause. If your house was built, my house was built in 1999, right?
Right.
If you go to Google Earth, you can see that the Circle Drive was built when the house was built. And it
Right.
was what they call decorative rock.
Right.
Well, you guys enacted an ordinance, 9-10 years later. What are we going to do about this, boys? Huh?
Right. I think at the end of the day, I thought it was going to be a bigger deal. The only person that and brought up anything was Councilman Wozniak, and it was in reference to one of his neighbors' concerns about having to pay $500 to switch it over. Said he would do it, but it was just.
He was a good resident. He was a good resident. He would
Right,
comply with your request as a city.
Right, but this goes back to what me and you talked about. It's the white picket fence. Where does it stop? Where does this stuff go? What's the next thing? We're gonna have to have everybody put concrete driveways or parking pads, whatever it may be. I mean, it's
asphalt, whatever they want.
Right.
It might be AstroTurf in a few years because it's more environmentally friendly. Who knows?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing, before we get into Little Rock, is the permitting. There should be, and every lot that's being cleared should be called a GEC permit. I don't know what the acronym is for that, but I do know I've been on several lots where they're clearing it, and there's no paperwork whatsoever. There's supposed to be paperwork in there.
The situation on our street where I raised hell about the deck, right? They're like, they have a permit. Well, it's not posted, right?
Yeah.
They're bringing in vegetative material from other locations. They're piling it up like Burning Man 2.0, and there's not a permit posted, right?
Right.
Again, ask the question. If you're out there hunting people, because this happened during the city council work session, go around, drive around before everybody goes to work and hunt them down for parking on decorative gravel or creekstone. Man, I swear, if somebody's out there lingering around my fence, and my dogs are barking right now,
Right.
somebody getting ready to get a foot put up their ass. It's freaking
Right.
almost 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Just
So
saying.
the other thing that was brought up was the fact that they requested a survey be done because apparently there were situations where they were clearing lots and they were clearing the wrong lots, man. They were
Yes. Well, and they were
on the
doing that.
wrong
They were
property.
piling stuff on the neighbors' lots.
Right. So I guess at the end of the day, I don't know how they got resolution there. You cut down people's trees on their lot. I mean, they have, you got to make them whole, right?
Well, there was
You
a
can't just-
resident. There was a resident that cut down a tree limb that was overhanging on his lot. He was turned into a criminal overnight.
Right.
And you know who I'm talking about? Old,
Yep.
Colonel Jim Parsons.
Right.
So-
Yeah. Very true. Very
Right.
true. So there's a lot of confusion. I got to dig into that a little bit more. I've been on a lot of lots. The other thing that confuses me too is the burning regulation, having to be on site. We know for a fact this has happened numerous times within the last 6 months that people have been burning and not been in the area. Fires still running into dark when they're supposed to be put out in dusk.
Yeah, you've called on it. They've actually they did pass the word on.
Yeah.
And then you called, requested to talk to the fire chief, the battalion chief that was on duty.
Right.
And he admitted he never got the call. And
Yeah, he
they sent somebody
reiterated-
out and they put the fire out, right?
Right.
Thank you very much,
It's extremely
battalion chief.
dangerous. Yep. He apologized and told them they were going to take care of it, and it concerns me, man. It concerns me when there's no communication. It's just bad. But the permit thing is it continues to happen. The fires, it continues to happen. There's very little regulation being enforced out
I
there.
mean, as a tree-friendly city and a butterfly town and all this other stuff, all these little badges of honor that we got, like Girl Scouts, right? Or Boy Scouts, whatever you have it be. You would think that the city would adopt, common sense ordinances, like to say, hey, if you're going to clear a lot, you have to have a plan for what you're going to do with the vegetative debris.
Right.
And then if you plan on burning that, you're going to have to go and get approval from everybody within a half-mile radius of that because they don't want to smell it.
Right.
They don't, right? That's a common sense legislative proposal, though, right? Or you as a builder are responsible for hauling that off to an approved disposal facility, right?
Right.
But burning should not be like, oh, well, we've done it forever. Even though
Right.
people live through a year of burning crap, they don't want to
Well,
smell like it. In a stump burning, Mark, is not like burning firewood.
right.
Seasoned
Yeah.
firewood burns pretty
Yeah, it
clean,
doesn't burn
you know?
clean and
Right.
hot.
Yeah.
The other concern is, you know this too, Chris, we're in ravines here, man. And you just get a quick wind, it kicks up.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, man, you got a big fire on your
But
hands.
I thought we were a fire-wise city.
Well, my homeowner's insurance hasn't gone down, Chris, so
Neither is mine. So maybe one
So
day they'll acknowledge that we're a fire-wise city. But
right.
yeah,
So the other topic came up was the state bill, man, with the ongoing lawsuit with the short-term rentals, which everybody's been waiting for.
yeah. Well, and I, Councilman Larry Wilms, he thankfully
He couldn't
brought
help
it
himself
up.
tonight. Yeah, he couldn't help
Uh,
himself tonight.
Perry Mason Jr. brought it up though, and he said, "Well, we may be out of the short-term rental business altogether here shortly, but not looking
Yeah, he did.
promising."
Yeah, he did bring that up.
He brought that up himself, but then Larry, that
I
was
think Larry was contacted.
Larry
someone-
had already talked with him
Yeah.
because Larry did mention that Larry said that Jason had some very flowering verbiage that he could put together in a resolution. Something
Right.
it was very flowering.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you're unaware and you're just tuning in, thank you very much,
Thanks,
Stacy. We
Stacy.
appreciate that. If you're just tuning in, so there's a active hearing going on for the smallest bill I think that would ever pass in Arkansas state legislature. It's two pages. 2 pages.
That's all you need,
bro.
brother.
We only need,
That's my
dude,
kind of bill,
we
man.
only need 2 pages. We don't need a lot of pork on this. We just need to be able to say like, "Yo, bro, look, this is what it is, and this is what we're asking for."
Yep.
That's it. And they did it. It's a no-brainer. After watching those hearings today, a lot of Bella Vistans there, and Larry took offense to that, So if you're a short-term rental owner or have aspirations to be one, and you were down at this hearing today, watch out for that retaliation. That's all I gotta say, man. Because they don't do that here either, do they?
Yeah.
But Larry, dude, we'll go over to the web share. Thank you very much, Sally.
Sally.
We appreciate that. Hope you like them sunglasses, Sally. Yeah, I
What were they?
got eyes
$2.20
everywhere,
or
man.
something?
Got eyes everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
So just
gonna throw in
saying.
a 5-ounce steak with it.
Yeah, it's like $2 sunglasses and a 5-ounce steak for $29.99. Who knows?
Committee down there,
Larry.
city, county, and local governments that have been working on a bypass.
A quick shout out to Kevin Dooley. Kevin Dooley provides this awesome service for everybody in Bella Vista, LIBV TV, over on YouTube and the Facebook. So make sure if you're not able to attend that you follow his page, like his page, give him thumbs up for every one of these videos he does. Man. For real.
Yeah, he does a good job. I didn't get a chance to talk to him today. I was engaged in what these guys were saying.
Yeah. So here's where Larry displeases his he expresses his displeasure with Bella Vista residents for tarnishing the stellar persona of Bella Vista.
Our owners in Bella Vista and legislators from the area that apparently are responding to builders and others to take away the authority of local governments in regulating things that are happening in local communities. It was passed out of committee this morning. If you go on the state's website for the Senate, you can look at the recorded version of that hearing. It was about an hour and a half long this morning. I didn't get to look at it. I had some other activities that were taking my time. But you can go back and look at it. There was a lot of putting Bella Vista down by those who spoke.
Putting Bella Vista down by those who spoke. I don't think I heard anybody put Bella Vista down. Did you?
No.
No, I didn't. I didn't
No.
hear nobody put Bella Vista down. I think I heard people like call out Bella Vista politicians though, for reals.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I mean,
Well,
you're
it was a- well, we talked about
let's,
this
let's
before,
break it down
man.
though. You're named in a lawsuit as being a tyrant, and
Right.
now you're named in official minutes in the Arkansas state record as being a fucking tyrant. Pardon my French.
Yeah.
Being a tyrant. My bad. So see,
You know what's even better
this
though?
is
law-
where
it could be,
this is where the army guy and the constitutionalist in me, I get a little fired up, y'all. Pardon my language. I do. I really do. This is what bothers me about, serving this country and watching elected leaders sit here and crap on the Constitution. This is what
Yeah.
bothers me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I totally agree with you, man.
But you're double downing, man, because there was people who actually called out specific names during the hearing, right? And I love it. Thank you for the laughter, Stacy. I mean, because this is what gets me fired up. It's like
yeah.
people who cannot just be like, man, like the guy from The Hangover. We might
Right.
have messed up, man. We got the wrong Doug. I mean, like,
Well, and you know what, man, the ladies in Little Rock crushed it.
They did.
We're going to show that soon. Michelle Chiacco, Sandy Ivey, and Shauna Gears, they just flat out laid out their case. They did it very professionally. They did an
Yeah.
awesome
Well, even
job.
even David did it too. Whenever he was
Yeah.
talking about, we had an opportunity, but then even the local politicians said, if you can get people to have common ground, well, that's not going to happen, right?
Right.
You're dismissive of actually people like Americans being able to find common ground and say we can coexist, right? I thought that
Right.
was like a message at one point in our history. Is like, man, live and let live, right?
Yeah.
Coexist. But
Right.
you have a policymaker in Bella Vista saying, "Good luck, better have a police there. They're gonna have words, right?" I'm
Yeah.
just saying, right?
Well,
I mean,
he's so far in over his head. It's unbelievable. And I mean, this is a blatant overreach of our constitutional rights, man. It's just that simple. And Josh Bryant brought that up too, So we'll dig into it, and I'd like to see that some of that video too would be
yeah.
good because they did such a great job with that. But
Yeah, and so Larry Wilms from our Bella Vista City. There's a lot of Larrys involved in this, all right? But Larry, and my brother Daryl, that type fashion. But what I'm saying is Larry Wilms is actually like he goes through this and he voices his displeasure about Bella Vistans going down to the state house and
Right.
talking about their unique situation and their observations, which I'm sorry, bro, we're allowed to do that as Americans. Last time I checked, anyway, while we're still
Well,
free
he
loving
was-
Americans, right? Thank
Thanks,
you for the
Ryan.
like, Ryan. We appreciate that. But
well, he's
So-
blatantly saying that the state legislature
has it
doesn't
wrong.
have a clue. They got it wrong.
They got it
They
wrong,
got
right?
it
Yeah,
wrong.
we'll fast forward a little bit, but because I mean, you can listen to him, Haw, and like I love the fact that he does this in the last 15 minutes of the meeting, because most people have checked out at that point, right? There's like you, Randy, a few, Kevin Dooley, few handful of people that are sticking it out, right?
Right.
Especially for a work session.
But that's
But-
how we got Wozy with a hot mic, man.
Yeah, that's how you get them, man. That's how you get them. And so he goes in and he eventually states, and apparently Craig Honchell had somewhere to go. I mean, he packed his bags up and
floor
I
agenda,
mean, he
but
was
it'll be soon, and then it'll move over to the house.
He was ready to go.
To the mayor and to fellow council members is that we put a resolution in
There
our
it is.
meeting that asks them to cease with the bill and interference with local governance. And I talked with Attorney Kelly before the meeting about it. He had some flowery language that sounded
Flowery
good.
language.
What? Can
Flowery.
somebody, if you're in the comments, you might win a free T-shirt if you could tell me the definition of flowery language. Okay, I mean, like for real. Is it smells good? Is it like pretty, or I mean, like it's what we've been dealing with. We've been raising the flag on this for months about how you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig, right? You could sit here and say, hey, this sounds great. But when you apply the Constitution of the United States or the Arkansas Constitution on top of it, what's it mean? Nothing. It means nothing. It sounds good. You got 270 pages of lipstick on a pig.
Right.
Man, I got to give a shout out to myself for like not dropping an F-bomb on that, for real. But so we have it right. Councilman Larry Wilms is wanting to put forth a resolution saying that the bill that the state is now considering that passed the committee hearing today, right? And it's going to go to the Senate floor, is an overreach when they're actually, the bill is thou shalt not infringe on personal property rights.
Right.
Now you've got our city attorney and a councilman putting together words saying, we will take constitutional rights away from you.
Right. Right.
Sounds like a really bang up. I love the fact that people are just showing their butts, man. I really do. I really do.
It continues to happen. It continues to happen. I can't even believe it. I'm like, I just did a double take when he said that. And, but man, it just doesn't surprise me anymore. It really doesn't. It's just craziness,
Oh, I guess we got somebody. Stacy wins, man. The comment section's blowing up. I love this, guys. The name of the game is interaction too. What was Stacy's comment? I gotta find it real quick. She said it's expensive. Flowery language means it's expensive language. The dang state's always interfering with our local law.
Here's the thing. This law could set precedents for other cities.
It's going to set
man.
precedents for everybody in the state of Arkansas, and that was one of the concerns of one of the state senators during this hearing. It was like, what does this do? I think the Bentonville city planner was there. He showed up. We ain't got no ordinances, but we might want some in the future, right? And it's like, well, what does this do? Well, it effectively cancels all of your ordinances that you want to implement because it is the direct infringement on the use and the enjoyment of your property that you paid money for and you still pay property taxes for. And the AMP collects taxes if you're operating on VRBO or what's that, Airbnb, right?
Right.
There's no loss to anybody. There's no loss.
It's hard to believe this has gone this far in such a little amount of time, but we talked about this to them. We had discussions with them.
We have been on this since, we've interviewed short-term rental owners. We've interviewed several people that were actually at the meeting down here, dude.
This is the remnants of Christie's mayoral candidacy over the last few years, along with Doug. Doug just keeps on getting slapped.
I honestly, I remember when Peter Christie retired and people brought him some bike trail stuff, and I think that somebody needs to get a wood carved this bill. They need to get a laser engraved wood card thing and just send it to him. Be like, yeah, you can't do that, bro.
Right? Yeah. That's his legacy, man. That's absolutely his legacy. He's tried to push this through before he was gone. We told him, man. We told him the STR owners wanted to sit down and have discussions with him. They weren't going to have it. Doug said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to do what I want to do. And now Doug just got slapped around this past week with BBB Septic because of his loose playing layout as far as inspections go. They don't want the liability. State Line doesn't want to deal with the city. They don't want the liability.
No, well, it's 100% liability that falls on the short-term rental or the septic inspector, 100%, right? But even tonight's meeting, I think you failed to mention this one, was the fact that the insurance, right? So if you operate with, like, say, Airbnb, right, you get a certificate of well,
that's a good point.
There's insurance that's covered, right? Well, that's not good enough.
No,
and what next comes, right? Your wall outlets aren't good enough,
right?
Your site plan, your evacuation plan isn't good enough, right? All of this is meant to stop you from doing what you want to do with your property. period.
See, this goes back to what you said before, and I totally agree with you. That's a responsibility of the owner. That's his responsibility. You want insurance? I don't care if you get the freaking every type of insurance you want.
But it's not
Knock
the right
yourself out,
insurance.
man.
They want that on your homeowner's policy versus the company that you're,
Or
using their
Airbnb or-
services to,
right.
like these
Right.
are legitimate companies that are, but their insurance policies aren't good enough. It's just it's really not insurance, right?
Yep.
Well, okay, it's really not a wall outlet plate. It's really not
Right. It doesn't
proper
there's stuff-
evacuation plan. It's really not the right fire extinguisher. Or it's really not the proper font for your notice of who to contact,
Right.
or it's really not the right placard holder. And we've cut you out. That's it. And now you have an additional fee on top of it to get
Right.
re-inspected so that you can be in compliance. Right? You see the slippery slope that this has become,
Right. Right.
all because
Well, they
of the
wanna see
whims
how
of
far-
one man.
They
One
want to see how
man.
far they can push it. Yeah. Yep.
No.
There's no doubt.
But we got another comment here.
Thanks, Teresa.
We appreciate that. We appreciate it. Uric says, I think Flynn said it best, thinking he was smart, saying that he agreed that the Arkansas state constitution supports property rights. I think this was actually both Flynn and Wilms, until you interfere with your neighbor's rights. And your question is what rights are being taken away from a house being rented? 100%. And I think that Shauna, is it Gears or Greers?
Yeah.
Brought it up?
Gibbs, yeah.
She brought it up during the legislative session. We're going to cut over to that here in a second. And
Get
Michelle,
your popcorn, people.
yeah, get your popcorn, baby, because this is getting ready to go hot. All right,
And get a beer
yeah.
or wine because
or
this is
your
good
adult
stuff.
beverage of choice.
Right.
But we're
not
getting
advocating
ready to
drink.
go over there. But I agree. Whenever they said that, Uric, I was appalled. Right? Is you have materially failed to demonstrate where the operation of a short-term rental is infringing on anybody's or creating a hardship on anybody.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You have materially failed to prove that a septic system is more susceptible to failing because it's a septic system on an STR versus a septic system on a, rental,
Yeah.
or a general household. Like there is no
Regular
data.
residents. Yep.
Everything about this legislation that the
Stone.
city rammed through.
Yep.
Remember, and I'm using the word directly, rammed through.
Right. They
They
did.
suspended the rules and they rammed it through to get what they wanted. And they had no data. Everything was conjecture, fear-driven, hyperbolic conjecture.
Yeah. Well, you
No
heard Jason
data-driven.
tonight. You heard
Nothing.
Jason talk tonight, man. He knows it's coming, man.
He does. He
But
knows
that's
it.
what they do.
But
They
Perry
test the
Mason
waters.
Jr.'s got this, right? You got it, bro.
Yeah.
The elbow bump like they were doing during the
Yep.
pandemic. I got this, bro. Right? Okay, Perry, you do what you got to do, man. But you know what I love about the short-term rental owners is they're doing what they got to do. And they're doing
Right.
it the right way. I needed this today. I really needed this day. After last night, after all the crap
This is
going
like
on in
early
this country,
Christmas for
man,
you,
I'm
man.
just like, dude, I need to pick me up. I really need to pick me up. I need to know that the process is still working. And it's
Right.
working. It really is.
It has to, man, because this is the last stop.
It is, man. I mean, like, there ain't no turning back after we get so far down the slope, right? I mean,
Right.
like at that point, man, you're locking in that back foot, and you're like we riding the mountain on a snowboard, man. That's it,
Right.
And there's an avalanche rolling up my butt, man. So,
Right.
but no, dude, we'll get into it, man. Let's go ahead and cut over to the state, the city, county, and local affairs committee. Give me one moment to do this. Actually, should we go to like a quick pause?
break?
A quick
Yeah, we
break
can
on
go to
this?
break.
Let's go to a quick
Yeah.
break on this. Y'all grab your popcorn. Y'all grab your adult beverages of choice.
Oh, this is good.
And we're gonna break this down. I've got like probably 5 sections of the wins of this Senate, the City Council and Local Affairs Committee, Senate Bill 197, that we're going to break down. We're going to talk about. We'll be right back, y'all. I think I have a video still loaded in the deck. We'll see. Be right back. Hey, goat. What's up, man? We're back. All right. So I cut that one short. We got everything lined up. We're ready to go. If you guys didn't know about Dickerson Park Zoo up in Springfield, Missouri, that's the footage that we went out there on Friday. Kid had the day off of school. We took him up there. Short drive, great little zoo. I mean, dude, short of the elephants, we got to see everything. You know,
Awesome.
and be up and close and personal. I mean, like the Mexican wolves, man. He's like, I'm a wolf, man. You know, I mean, like, beautiful animals up there, though. And they were doing a lot of cleaning on the habitats and stuff. So definitely worth the drive up there. If you got littles, man, take them up there and let them experience it. It's a good time. Wintertime, you know, limited on what they have open or the exhibits and stuff. But we got to see them. I was there for the monkeys, man. I love them. You know, I'm a monkeys fan. Sorry. Hey, with the monkeys.
That's why I love going over the Gentry, man. I used to feed them the capuchins. You feed them with grapes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, dude,
they stick their hands through it, grab them.
We need something like that in Northwest Arkansas. We're big enough to where we should have, like, you know, a zoo of some sorts in education for our kids, and, you know, just wholesome family outings and talking and enjoying, I don't know, all the gifts that God gives us on this earth. That being said, moving over, hold on, make sure I got this right. Probably don't, because, you know, the production guy stinks. There we go. City and Local Affairs Committee. We got to get rid of the other one, though. Got to get rid of, let's see, this one. Bye-bye. All right. Senate Bill 197, City, County, and Local Affairs. Senator Joshua Bryant brought this to the table. I want to start with his opening remarks on this of why he, you know, brought this to the table. So we'll go right, Sean, and we'll go ahead and get
32. Colleagues, Senate Bill 97 is I'm going to say it's a very complex issue. It's an issue that many states have to meet head on and try to figure out how to address. What I did is I gathered all the thoughts and concerns, and at the end of the day, I made a decision to file this bill to protect the property rights of all Arkansans, because I think as we start to erode some of these rights, we're going to wonder why we got to the place we are. And some, I think we're already beyond that point, and some may say it's a future to come, and we have to stop it right now. So with that, I put down my thoughts, and so I'm gonna read and dictate kind of my thoughts. This bill pertains to the property rights of all Arkansas landowners. As you notice, the top non-codified section of the bill was to serve as a reminder to us all that private property rights are enumerated in our state constitution. Specifically, Article 2, subsection 22 states, the right of property is before and higher than any other constitutional sanction, and private property shall not be taken, appropriated, or damaged for public use without just compensation. Obviously, the first part of that, it is higher and above any other.
Mark, that sounds like a lawsuit, doesn't it? I'm just saying, we read a lawsuit. It sounds very familiar to a lawsuit. I'm just saying.
Very similar.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Constitutional sanction. While one of the arguments against this bill is that it does not allow for local control, I would argue that when local control is attempting to subdue a constitutional right, we have the duty to debate this control in this assembly and determine if it is the will of the people.
I like the word he used, subdue. Right?
Yep. It's that simple,
right?
man.
You're doing this under the color of law, but you're violating constitutional rights under the color of law.
Right.
Are you starting to pick up the message there, you know, Bella Vista City Council? Hopefully you are.
I don't think so.
Per our Constitution, the General Assembly provides for general laws of the organization of cities and incorporated towns. These entities, granted to operate via state oversight, should not require its citizens within its borders to abandon these constitutional rights to private property. The General Assembly grants cities and towns the authority of regulatory powers to ensure a multitude of services and protections to its citizens. These ordinances, which carry these
weren't we talking about this statutory regulations versus constitutional authority, right? Yeah. We've talked about this multiple times, and the statutory regulations fall short of constitutional, right? Yeah. And we've said it multiple times. If you're going to pass a city ordinance, you should have it vetted by a constitutional attorney, not your city attorney, right? Somebody who totally does this pass the sniff test before you even go to first reading, right?
Absolutely. You infringed on the state constitution and the U.S. Constitution.
Hey, whatever, man. Look, we have some of the best talent. We have some of the best people in Northwest Arkansas on this. I think there's over 20 people on the lawsuit now. and we had a multitude of people show up down to the State House. And I have to applaud these people for standing up and doing it the right way, right?
Yep.
Doing it the right way. We can sit over here on our podcast and rant about it, right? All we're trying to do is kind of open up minds and support support what people are wanting to do, right? As long as it falls in line with the Constitution.
Well, what concerns me, Chris, is the fact that we're the only ones out there that are showing this nonsense. The major news stations out here in
I haven't heard
Northwest
I haven't
Arkansas.
seen one news article regarding the
It's
lawsuit
being suppressed.
that
being
Bella Vista's under.
suppressed.
We broke it
Absolutely.
when we saw it on Core Connect. We broke it, right?
Right.
I haven't seen one news article.
No
on it.
major news
Nope.
network has even taken the time to cover it. They just ignore it. But this is how they work. This is why nobody trusts the major news networks anymore.
And that's why it's important to like, share, subscribe to our show, because we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
talk
agree.
about these things,
Yeah.
regardless how uncomfortable it is. We have
Right.
to talk about it, right? We have to talk about it. Are we adults? Can we look at the problem and assess the problem, or can we just I don't know, bury my head in the sand and just, everything's good, everything's great,
Yep.
it'll be fine, right? This won't impact me at all till it impacts you.
Yep.
Just saying. All right.
Are allowed to be enforced via police powers and zoning authority to ensure a balance to the community. Cities have long had to ensure that private property owners act reasonably and responsibly with respect to their surrounding neighbors. This has been accomplished by zoning properties to be conducive to the area in its best manners. Residential, commercial, and industrial zoning are, to name a few, of the broader categories of which define use. Again, zoning is the defining of use, not the owner, not the operator, not the occupant. It inherently pertains to the land use of who owns it, of not who owns it or occupies it, but of land use.
And that he hit the nail on the head. Land use, right? Can we distinguish a difference between a person living in their house or a person renting a house with a 1-year lease or a person renting a house with a 5-day lease?
Yeah.
What is the actual use case scenario? Is it
Right.
somebody is pooping, somebody's cooking, and somebody's showering, and somebody's sleeping?
Right.
Nothing
Everything all
fundamentally
in common.
changes on the use of that property,
Right.
right?
Yep.
The only thing that changes is the fact that somebody might be profiting. And with Bella Vista and the way that it goes, right? I don't know what you got on my 20, right? What, it's like Debo, man, when the city starts sniffing around and doing their things, and this is why it's important to show up to work sessions, right? Because
Yep.
you hear that squeaky wheel of Debo riding around the neighborhood, right?
Right.
You squeak.
Debo.
Oh, man, everybody take off your gold chains, man. Get out of there, because Debo's
Someone's
rolling
gonna get-
up, man.
Someone's gonna get knocked out.
Somebody go, Debo going to get his, man. And that's the city. That's the city. For reals,
Yeah.
it is. The city wants theirs. What you got on my 20? What you got
Yeah.
on my 40 ounce, man? Like, what,
Yep.
what you got? Right? And that's how they rolled with this.
Yeah.
They found a way to profit off of other people using the capitalistic model and saying,
Right.
man, how's it? Dude, I bought whenever housing was cheap.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's capitalist.
This is
We're
like-
allowed to do that. We have a right to do that.
See, they look at it this way. The city council looked at it, and Jason probably looked at it and said, "Man, who's gonna put a lawsuit?
Who's
against
going to
this?"
stand up to Debo?
Right,
Nobody.
right.
Nobody
Nobody.
got
So
enough
we'll-
to stand up
we'll-
to Debo. Just give him your gold chain, right?
Well, it's just like the conversation we had with the mayor voting, right? Until it was called out, then they stopped doing it, right?
Yeah. Oh, the impropriety of the mayor being a tiebreaker when it
Right,
requires
right.
2/3 of a majority, right? And
That's
by
right
the
there.
mayor voting, he changes the specific percentage rate, right?
Right.
So if you have we've talked about this before. Peter Christie, boy, man, Jason Kelly just sent that guy up the
He
river,
just totally
man,
ignored it.
back to
Yeah.
Canada and all that, because like the minute that Jerry brought it up, where Peter was voting and changing the whole percentage base, and like
Yep.
even when he voted the tie break, you didn't achieve a majority.
Yep.
How many ordinances have been passed using that model in Bella
Absolutely.
Vista? And
Well,
nobody
even
ever
Jason said
questioned
you
it
can't-
before.
You can't even go back. Remember,
Right.
he told Jerry.
You can't go
Can't go
back.
back.
It's done. It is what
Yeah.
it is, right? I thought that was offensive at one point too,
Yeah.
right? I don't know, man.
The manner in which cities can affect the owner or occupant are through its police powers. These powers ensure nuisances and public safety can be addressed. Items
Wait, did he just say that the police just need to enforce existing ordinances? I think that's what he just
We
said.
were saying that before, man.
Oh,
we were saying
man.
that before.
Wait, what?
The
What you
stranger
talking
danger.
about, Willis?
The stranger
traffic
dangers.
control and parking,
Yeah.
noise issues and quiet hours, animal control, yard complaints, advertising, and all other public nuisance issues the city wants to address can be curtailed under its policing powers. All
Yep.
cities need to do is exercise them. These police powers are available to protect all owners and renters. As one of the three main reasons you will hear for those opposed to short-term rentals, any nuisance of a short-term rental can be generated and have the same issue of a long-term rental or owner-occupied property. We should be dealing with these under policing powers of the local municipality. Yet many of our cities have chosen to adjust to the popularity of short-term leasing by banning or limiting them through zoning regulations, even though they are of use as a residence or where people dwell and sleep. So the question must be asked, has the property use changed from residential to a business or commercial use?
It hasn't.
If that is the case, then every long-term rental should now be potentially classified as a business.
And I think we brought this up, Mark. When you start trying to put people in boxes,
Yep.
right? Like, what's the difference between a long-term renter and a short-term renter when it comes to septic?
Yep.
Nothing, right? Both people have the ability to overgenerate. Both people have the ability to throw parties, park on the street, everything else. You're selectively targeting people.
Right.
You're targeting property owners based off the use case, right? You can't do that.
Right.
And on top of it, you have basically put a bullseye on all these STR renters that are
Sure.
opposed to this
Right.
in this community. I mean,
Well, the city
you saw crazy Govern Me Harder lady, right? You've
Right.
seen her enough at the city council meetings. You know, we won't stop. We won't quit. Blah, blah,
Well-
blah. Right?
Yeah.
Govern me harder, daddy. You haven't gone far enough.
Right.
Right?
In the city council, it doesn't.
You
listen,
must be
it,
fun at parties, dude. You must be fun at parties.
Ignorance doesn't absolve you of breaking the law, right? You know what I
doesn't.
mean? It's
It doesn't.
there's no pass for that, and in this situation, it's constitutionally protected, and they're going to lose. They're going to lose
Yep.
this.
Yep.
But
And
it goes
we've
back to
been
what I said
calling it.
before.
We've been trying to just, I don't know, ignite a little spark of hope in somebody. You know, I know Doug Fowler watches our podcast. He's emailed us. He's very aware that we have a podcast. He's very aware that we have done a video that, in his own words, makes him look bad. We can't make him look bad.
Yeah.
All we can do is just put it in a digestible format and show how crazy his behavior has actually been.
Right.
He doesn't think that hurts him at all. That's fine.
We-
Whatever.
We've called his behavior out numerous occasions, and he still doesn't get it. And again, he got called out again in Little Rock. And
Today.
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
We'll get to that in a moment because that's the next bit that we're going into. We're going right down to 10:50 a.m. Michelle Sciacco.
Accordingly, I argue that the use has not changed regardless of duration. The property still functions as a residential purpose. In fact, this question of duration and stay and use has been decided by the Arkansas Supreme Court in a 2018 case in Garland County.
Yep.
In the decision overturning a lower court's decision, Justice
Mark the words. Lower court decision. The Supreme Court of Arkansas, not the United States, Arkansas has overturned a lower court ruling stating this is appropriate use.
Right.
Keep that in mind. Precedence has already been set
Right.
from a legal aspect at the Supreme Court.
Right.
Ruled that renting a property, regardless of duration, did not change the essential character of the residence. She further addressed the commercial purpose from Black's common law as a result of accruing from commerce or exchange, whereas unless the property's bill of assurance or associated covenants restricts or expressly prohibits, the courts have determined that short-term rentals did not offend the restrictions that limited the use of the property so long as it was used for residential purposes. Another argument raised is a concern of the potential lack of long-term or owner-occupied housing within the community. While cities are faced with addressing the needs of affordable housing, I have yet to hear any citizen complain when the value of their property increases. The issue of affordable and available housing should not be at the peril of rights of existing property owners. Instead, cities should encourage the development by reducing overreaching and burdensome regulations. In fact, one city recently produced a report addressing these concerns, and it was determined that short-term rentals were not a factor when considering affordable or available housing, but it did recommend trying to reduce existing permitting timelines, which currently sit at over 3.5 years. The recommendation was to reduce that by 12 months. I say, hear that again, reduce an already long process of over 3.5 years by 12 months. Cities can and should address these overburdening regulations on new property instead of focusing on limiting the rights of current owners to solve the problem.
And that's what they want to do. They want to put the burden on the property owner. With all this whataboutism. What about this? What about this? No actual data to support what they're doing. You know, I mean, like, that's the weird thing about all of this. It's all conjecture.
Right.
It's all fear-based conjecture at the local level that push this way over the board. Right?
Well,
That's
it goes
cool.
back to what I said. It goes back to what I said before. You're not being held personally liable for it. If that money was coming out of your pocket, you'd maybe think twice about doing this. You know what I mean?
I mean,
But
like,
right
that's
now-
where legislative reform really needs to happen at a local level. Is if you push something and you create a undue burden on the taxpayer to, I don't know, litigate it, right? Because that's what they're doing, right?
should reimburse the
there's a
taxpayers.
restraining order and there's a lawsuit.
Right.
If you felt that strongly about it, as you passionately told everybody to get bent, Doug
Right.
Fowler, because basically that's what you did over a 6-month period, is told everybody to get bent.
Right.
It's not going to happen the way that you think it's going to happen. This little group is not going to happen, right? I'm using his words. Then maybe you should put your money where your mouth is, but you don't
Right.
have any personal, I don't know. There's no personal, you have no skin in the game. You just want to please whoever the heck's talking to you in the corner of your ear while you're hanging
Right.
out behind the Highlands Church in your pickup truck for 8 to 10 hours. I don't know. Maybe. See, there's a little nugget of information that people don't know. We'll break that one soon enough. You know? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I went there. But what I'm saying is if you were held personally liable, maybe you might think twice about what you're doing. Easy enough to implement, right?
Yep.
I don't think that the failures of our city government should ever come at the cost of me or you.
Right.
Shouldn't.
Another item needing address in this
All right,
bill,
we're going to
just
move
discuss,
on
is
over
the
to
taxation
Michelle.
of this form of residential usage. Currently, Arkansas law requires anyone who leases to a transient guest, this is in statute already, anyone who leases to a transient guest is subject to pay all gross tax receipts levied, including compensating use tax and the tourism tax.
All right, so I believe that everybody who's renting on VRBO or
Airbnb.
Airbnb
Yep.
is those services, and somebody correct me in the comments, those services pay the A&P. They pay the appropriate taxes because you're doing business through them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that that's already covered. Right?
Yeah.
Should be. I don't know. They'll correct me. All right. So we're going to go over to the first Bella Vistans talking in this hearing. Here we go. Are y'all ready? Yeah. All right. So I got a confirmation. You are correct. They remit taxes on your behalf. They also provide liability insurance on your behalf because you're doing services through them, correct?
Oh my gosh.
Somebody confirm that because that was the topic of discussion at the work session tonight too.
Yeah.
Your insurance shit ain't good enough.
Yeah.
No,
we got a special we got a guy.
Bro.
We got a guy.
Man, we got a guy that's gonna do this for you, bro. All right, here's our favorite Bella Vistans. I mean, I swear these women are just great people in this community. We've had the opportunity to interview Michelle, no, not Michelle, Sandy Ivy, regarding some not so positive stuff that was happening in the primarily positive group in Bella Vista, and how it was just crazy, you know, that like we can't ask a question of the owner of the not so positive group. So
I'm Sandy Ivy. I'm from Bella Vista Short-Term Rental.
I'm Shauna Gears. I'm originally from Bella Vista, live in Rogers, Arkansas, and I own short-term rentals in the city of Bella Vista, and I'm also the townhouse president for the city of Bella Vista.
I just want to go on record real quick and just say this, Mark. You know, Doug talks about how people show up and, are you the Doug Fowler? Are you the guy? Right? Oh, you're at his church. People approach him at church about the short-term rental issue all the time, right? And I'm just curious if that, I got to visit the church, man, because like there's an old saying, man, that about a woman scorned, right? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. We got 3 strong, confident women up here, and they're laying down fact. That's it, and I love it. I love it, dude.
Welcome, ladies. Yeah, I'll recognize to proceed with your comments.
Thank you. Do you care who goes first?
No, it's just
Do you mind
you all
if I do
decide.
this? Okay. So I'm Michelle Chiacco, former Justice of the Peace, resident and owner of an owner-occupied short-term rental. I made the decision to short-term rent in 2020 when the governor decided that my business was one of the many he thought was non-essential. I quickly made the decision so I could continue to pay my mortgage since the governor left me with no income. I come here today in support of SB 197 to protect the property rights of the home I live in and utilize to make supplemental income as protected by the Arkansas Constitution. The Arkansas Supreme Court decided in 2018 that short-term renting is residential renting. As I'm sure you know, Bella Vista passed an STR ordinance, a very stringent ordinance, one that requires extra homeowner costs and occupancy limitations depending on sewer or septic. If they are on sewer, their occupancy will be decided differently than those on septic, as well as the homeowner's expense for septic inspection that is not required of any other homeowner in Bella Vista. When facts were presented to the city in regards to water usage and that STRs were not putting undue strain on the septic systems, showing proof of gallons used per day in accordance with the water usage per Act 402, we were ignored. A septic tank doesn't fail because it's in a rental. When we reminded them that the platforms collected and pay sales tax and A&P taxes directly, again, we were ignored, and now they're requiring us to file with the A&P personally and pay, even though we do not collect the monies. The platforms do, and they remit. Again, we were ignored. When we reminded them that the platforms offer additional insurance, they ignored us once again and are now demanding riders to our personal insurance policies at another direct expense to the homeowner. When reminded that the city of Bella Vista doesn't have any other business license, permit, or rules like additional insurance, again, we were ignored. We asked to start with a registration, have logical caps on occupancy, and just enforce ordinances that were already on the books. We were dismissed. In fact, through the FOIA request, I've gathered information on the common complaints, noise and parking. From 2018 to 2022, citywide, out of 692 noise and parking complaints called in, non-construction related, only 23 were noise and 6 were parking. Out of 692 complaints, only 29 were short-term rentals over a 5-year period. That is 6 complaints per year. Ordinances are...
I'm gonna take a point of privilege. Okay, so this gentleman that's over here, he's the second one from the left. He is an attorney for the Arkansas Municipal League. This guy is getting blatantly uncomfortable. He was actually interviewed before these ladies, and but he's starting to get blatantly uncomfortable. It's hilarious, because he realizes that he's
in over his head.
He has to represent, the city of Bella Vista, who's part of the Arkansas Municipal League, right?
Right.
But at the same time, he's like, "Oh man, we got the wrong Doug. We messed up, guys." Just the hangover. He's starting to realize, man, that and I think that the question was asked later on in the hearing. If you guys don't have the link, we will post this to our Facebook tonight. But there's questions asked, is this exclusive to Bella Vista? And it's really not exclusive to Bella Vista. But man, it really feels like this overreach is really exclusive to Bella Vista. And that's what alarmed a lot of politicians, is realizing the amount of Bella Vista representatives that are there, people talking about Bella Vista elected leaders, and how the overreach is just running rampant in Bella Vista.
Well, they know Bella Vista good. I mean, they with the stump dump that went national, right? I mean, they tried to contain it in this area, then it went statewide, and you know all the details after that. So this comes up, and this just escalates it to another level.
I got Uric said Eureka Springs effectively banned STRs. Hot Spring capped them to an unusable amount. It isn't just BV. It's not. But the reason that Bella Vistans have shown up is because we're sick of it. Are we not? Are we not sick of this? Right?
Yeah.
You want to give the POA special credence, but you want to trample on us, the people that are paying the POA and the city taxes, right? Joseph Bollinger just provided a link to this. Eureka, you basically have to change your zoning to commercial, and good luck with that, right? See, every city's running amok. They're doing whatever they think they can do. And this is why it's very, very important to reach out to your state senators, reach out to your state congressmen, say you're in support of this bill, because this protects everybody.
Well, the problem with
across
this,
the
Chris,
state
is again, a lot of people don't have the financial ability to go after these people. That's what I was saying. If they're found guilty, they should pay all their fees, right? On top of that, man, and whatever else they're looking for damages, and this crap would stop.
But you're gonna pay it. You, the taxpayer, is gonna pay it.
Right.
Period. But
I know that. I'm just talking personal.
Let's let these ladies continue. Right.
Okay.
Nabbit. We've been rolling for a while now.
I know.
Supposed to be across the board, not just on a small segment of the properties of a city, especially septic. Myself and 21 other owners felt so strongly that we did retain an attorney and have since filed a suit against the city for this ordinance. There is a time that the state must intervene when cities overreach, and this is one of them. Remember, the state has made several laws that cities have to follow: cigarette age, drinking age, even abortion. And this property protecting bill should be passed to do the same.
Michelle, bravo, girl. You nailed it. You nailed everything. You nailed everything.
Right. They all did.
Dude,
They
I mean, like,
it.
she opened up with that, and then she brought in the tobacco rights, the alcohol, everything else. Like, can cities just decide what the heck they want to do against the state's rules, the state's constitution, the whole 9 yards, right? That's what she laid out. She laid a case out for basically saying states' rights trump cities' rights. Period.
Yeah.
Sandy comes in and she does her thing too, man.
So much for all of your time and your dedication to the citizens of this great state I call home.
All right, thank y'all. We're about 17 minutes. Do any of you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would like
Okay.
to. I just
Sure.
didn't know if anybody had any
Nope.
questions for her. So coming from, I'm a businesswoman, and my career included selling millions of dollars of business into Walmart and calling on their buyers. Because I contracted Lyme disease, I no longer can work full-time, and it's always been my dream to have a business of my own. My house burned down in 2019, and I was told that I couldn't have the retaining wall where it was, and I was told I couldn't have native Arkansas stone on my front of my house, and, you know, being the over-regulations. And so I complied with all of that, and then I took 1,000 square foot off of the home that burned, and I put it on my lot next door and built a one-car garage exactly with the same, you know, look as the house, and a rental above it, so that I could get some of my life back and some of my business capabilities to work and support the city and support myself. This is paying my house payment. It's a very, you know, it's a small rental. It doesn't matter if it's small or big or whatever, but I'm just saying that I support local business.
And Sandy nailed it, right? It doesn't matter if it's small or big.
Thanks, Joe.
This is thank you very much, Joe. We appreciate that. This doesn't matter if it's small or big. It matters if this is profitable for you as an American buying property and using your property as you see fit, right?
That's your right.
See, that's the thing. You can go down there, and Larry Williams, man, city councilman, he's ticked off, man. You painting Bella Vista in a bad light. Maybe you're in a bad light, bro.
Yeah.
Tyrant's gonna tyrant.
But they created this. This was created by them.
Well, they rushed
Nobody
it through.
else.
They didn't want to hear the input from people. They didn't want to do
You get what you.
the groups. So
Right.
at the end of the day, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Right.
See, that's how it works. I'm gonna treat you like a 7-year-old. You get what you
Right.
get, and you don't throw a fit. You're gonna be like, oh, I got to put together a really strongly worded letter that's gonna, condemn this State Bill 197. Right? Cool beans, bro. Just show your butt a little bit more. You're cool with taking away people's constitutional rights to property. I'm all for it. It works great for me because at the end of the day, when you run for re-election or when you try to make a decision, you have no credibility anymore, bro.
No,
You
that's.
might
the
want to
thing.
start
After
thinking
this-
about a retirement or an exit strategy. One of those two would be great for Bella Vista.
All right.
I have numerous people tell me what they've done when they've come here, even if it's only been for 3 days. Oh, we went into Bentonville and we took a golf cart ride and we learned all about the city. And, we're promoting, especially Northwest Arkansas, is promoting all this big tourism, and in Bella Vista especially, and there's no place to stay. If this
We got
ordinance...
about a minute left.
Okay, if this ordinance goes through, it's going to hurt people like me who are trying to make a living and support other small businesses. It'll be taking all that away.
Thank you.
Shauna's going to bring in the big guns. She's bringing in the big guns, man. She's like, there's a rope-a-dope in there, and then she's like, cacao.
Well, people are fed up with it. People are. What she's saying, it just resonates with a lot of people, including us. And people are done with that kind of behavior, man. They're just not going to tolerate it.
I think the majority of Americans are sick of it. We're sick of it. Sick of it. Period.
I'm here today in favor of SB 197. As a realtor in the state of Arkansas, Missouri, I want to bring to your attention the complete misuse of power that the mayor, past and current, as well as the mayor pro tem, has imposed on our constituents. Bella Vista was built as a vacation community. The book, From Vision to Reality, 1915 to 1993, depicts the vision that the Lineberger brothers had for the town of Bella Vista as a vacation destination for extended families of the community. In short, many of the homes were purchased and managed by vacation rentals. With the platform of Airbnb, vacation rentals became an obsolete method of property management resource. As a licensed realtor, I wanted the right and enjoyment of my property to be at my discretion. Being a full-time landlord has fewer perks than the rights of STR owners' property rights. That being said, I know and understand the safety risk of renting short-term. As a previous safety and environmental risk manager, I'm very astute to the safety precautions as well as the inspection items that would potentially adversely affect its tenants. We take great pride in the upkeep and the management of our properties. The city has spread a lot of disinformation, not based on any factual information, but on their fear-based notions that Airbnbs are nothing but a party scene and a nuisance, which couldn't be further from the truth.
About 1 minute.
Right now, I currently have a family that will be staying there grieving the loss of a loved one and have had many traveling nurses, parents relocating their children, family members attending weddings and relocating without the expense of a long-term rental. Doug Fowler has had a complete disdain not
Wait, did she just smack Doug Fowler? I think she did.
It's just started.
Yeah.
for his constituents, but also for his own peer group. I want to ask each and every one of you, have any of you, as a homeowner, been able to hand select your neighbors as they move into your neighborhood?
Nope.
Or do you just get to meet and greet them when they close on the sale of their property? STRs are a way for members of our community, as Northwest Arkansas continues to grow, to come into the area and be able to get to know their friends and their neighbors prior to purchasing homes in our area. Thank you.
All right, members, are there any questions from the committee? All right, seeing no questions, thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No questions for him, but I think they nailed it, bro. They nailed it.
They did a great job.
And I mean, like the fact that like you don't get to pick who moves in next door to you, right?
Yeah.
You have no say in that.
Yeah.
And that's the slippery slope behind all of this, right?
Yeah.
Is you're not worthy of moving
Right.
into our community. That's
Right.
really what this boils down to. It's a slippery slope, and nobody's even like reading the room.
No.
Right?
No.
Luckily,
totally
I think
missed
we
it.
have a great group of state senators and representatives listening to this,
Yeah. Because
and they're asking the hard, challenging questions on top of it.
Yeah. There's
there was
other
a- there-
places in the country that are just, dude, they're getting upside down with this, man.
Yeah.
And the state of Arkansas is really taking the reins, man. And I have some hope. But a shout out to Stacy also for keeping us in the loop what was going on. She was sending us messages, keeping us updated.
Yeah,
and,
Stacy has been paramount on feeding us this information, man. She's like,
Right.
the state bill, we
Yeah.
got the link off that. We started tracking it.
Yeah.
We got the link on Court Connect. We started tracking it. We want to provide this information to people. If you think it's relevant to your life, cool. It might not be relevant to your life. You might not have a short-term rental, right? You might not be privileged enough to own a short-term rental. But at one point or time, it's going to come where
Yeah.
they're going to come after something that's important to you,
well,
or
this
they're
is what
going
we're
to fail
talking-
to do their duty.
This
that's
is what we're
important to
talking
you.
about. The septic, Chris, and going after every residential home in Bella Vista, right? I mean,
Right.
that's where this could go, you know. So
Luckily,
it
I'm on
affects
sewer,
everybody.
so all y'all guys are, the joke's on y'all, man. I'm on sewer over here. But no, you get what I'm saying. I even saw the writing on the wall. This is you're alienating one specific demographic.
right.
You can't write legislative policy based off of that. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. The Constitution prohibits that.
Right.
It has to be equal and fair and balanced across the board. And Michelle nailed it when she said that. She really did. And so shout out to her. I think, man, she's got a shot at running for JP again for reals if she's interested.
Yeah.
But let's get over here to we got a couple more Bella Vistans that are talking. I'm gonna cut over to that real quick. Where's she at? Where's she at?
What are you looking for, Stacy?
We got Nick and Stacy.
Okay.
Right after Larry. Here we go. That's Nick.
I'm a small business owner. My wife and I started a small short-term rental vacation rental management company. And we represented a lot of people who also were small business owners, many of them locals who ended up wanting to, buy a property near some mountain biking trails or something like that in Arkansas. I just wanted to make the quick point that these are not big corporations that back up what Larry said. These are middle-class families, people that are just trying to invest their money in a way they know that's going to turn out for their family in the end. Getting to septics, and I think Stacy can inform this, but the water usage is much lower for short-term rentals. There's really no reason to regulate septic tanks, because if the septic system breaks, if somebody wants to continue to rent their property, they're going to have to fix it. They're going to have to go in there and make sure that that's working. Lastly, as far as these not having any regulations, these are some of the most, already regulated properties by small business, the natural market already. The channels like Airbnb and Vrbo, they have certain standards that these people have to meet. And also, the market takes care of it, guys. If somebody's causing a problem, it's few and far between. We had over 100 properties, and I think the number of parties we had was maybe 5, 6 in 2 years. It's really the fear is a lot bigger than the reality is. And so what ends up happening?
I think he nailed that one right there.
On the front end, but
the fear is bigger.
What happens is Airbnb rates these people. We rate them on how they do. And that is how the market regulates this. If there's somebody who comes in and causes a problem, well, they get a bad rating and they don't get to, stay in an Airbnb again.
Mr. Gatlin, I'm going to interview Ms. Lamb, if you've got any.
Sure. I just want to tell you guys that I'm here representing 170 people in Northwest Arkansas that couldn't make it today. We all feel strongly that cities are abusing their rights to regulate houses for no reason. They already have the police powers that they need to enforce what they need. But I also want to address just quickly, I deal in a lot of data and facts for STR investors and owners. The average STR owner owns one house. So there's a lot of misinformation that is being said even today that these big corporations are coming in. None of that is true. And I have all the data. If you guys ever want to call me up, I'll be happy to go through any.
Wait, she brought data? She brought data, Mark? like
it's not conjecture.
Why would we base policy or law off data? I don't know.
Yeah.
Novel concept there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude. You can't make this up anymore. Everything that happened in Bella Vista was based off of a very squeaky wheel. And that squeaky wheel had the ear of one politician in Bella Vista. That's the scary thing.
Yep.
Right? Tyrant's going to tyrant.
With you. For example, 488 STRs in Bella Vista currently. 30 of them are owned by an LLC, and those 30 people live out of state. Everything else is by Arkansas, or from an Arkansas resident. And the truth is, when we invite people into our homes, these are our own personal vacation homes for our own families. And we invite others to the state to live like a local. It's literally the slogan that we live and die by. Airbnb's slogan is belong. They use the word belong. And we're opening our homes and the local economy to all of these guests. And they are a huge part of the community, whether they live there long-term or not. So, again, there's a lot of data that keeps getting thrown around by the municipal league, by cities, that they just don't know. They don't dig hard enough. And they
poor municipal league attorney back there. He's grabbing his face again. He's just uncomfortable back there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he is.
And it's just not true. But we appreciate you guys listening to us.
Thank you, Ms.
today.
Lamb. All right, Senator Hammer and then Senator Sullivan. Senator Hammer, you recognize your question.
Thank you. And you hit on one of the points. You're a property manager, so
I'm an owner and manager.
Owner
Yes,
and manager. So as far as the properties that you manage that are owned by people, not big corporations as illustrated, what was the number you said? 100
well, now this number is This number is just a fact of all properties in the area, not just the ones that I own. And the average STR owner nationally owns one home.
One home.
One home.
Okay. And then the other thing is you pay taxes.
Correct.
So
The average STR owner owns one home, Mark, and they pay taxes. And they pay A&P taxes through the service that they use to solicit their rentals, right?
Right. Yep.
Is this a problem for state government? No. They're getting paid.
Right.
Right? It's a problem for city government with people in city government who have agendas.
Right. Yeah.
That's the problem why you had so many people opposed to this regulation. And it was all city government people.
Right.
City
well, now
planners.
you got a lot of eyeballs on this now.
Yeah. Yeah. See, are we starting to like paint a picture here? Where
Right.
like city governments, little tyrants want a tyrant. They want to profit. They want to do whatever to pad their resume or to improve their statue, be the approver or the disapprover. Remember,
Right.
we got Doug. You think your little group's going to go off the way you think it is? It's not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It won't happen. He made that point very clear. It wasn't going to go off the way. These are what we call tyrants, bro.
Yeah.
But the state doesn't look at that. State looks at it like this. Are you paying your taxes? Are you paying property taxes? Yes. Okay. Checkbox. Are you paying advertising and promotion commission taxes? Checkbox.
Yep.
Is it within the prohibited use
For dwelling. Yeah.
by the zoning?
Yep.
Yes. Click. Everything checks the boxes.
Yeah.
This is very promising for passing. It is very promising for passing.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it doesn't. And then I would question who voted against it.
Right.
I really would.
Oh, that'll be another show.
Yeah.
So every one of those are generating taxes whenever they're rented, right?
Absolutely.
Comparable to what's paid at a motel?
Yes, exactly the same.
Okay. So
Yeah, this is that weird moment where they tried to paint it like, well, is this giving motels an advantage? No, there's a market for both of these that they can
Yeah.
coexist.
Yeah.
But this is that questioning session where it went that route. It did.
I'm just going to put this out there, and you can either respond or somebody come behind you, or you can close. Is this a matter of competition against the motels and trying to keep the motels busy, and they're losing business because people are going to the places that you own and Airbnb?
I don't think so. I think that there's a place for all of us at the table.
Okay.
People traveling short term, one night, they're staying at a hotel, people bringing families, reunions, funerals, they're coming to bigger homes, houses that can bring their kids and they can have a meal at a dinner table.
Okay.
You know, we have kind of different markets.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Sullivan, recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We are available more than 3 minutes. So just to correct that, we've spent hours reading through the emails. We're available 365 days a year, almost 24 hours a day. So just want to clear that up, that if people
That's what
want
I'd like to
talk
hear,
us,
man.
we're very open. We have meetings, and it's not 3 minutes. So I understand the frustration of testifying in 3 minutes.
See, this guy
but that's-
gets it, man. He gets
See,
it.
and that's what you have to give a shout out to Dan Sullivan, Senator Dan Sullivan. You know, he's like, you call us, you email us, you take an active role in the civic process, right? You bug me.
That's my
Give
job.
my time, right? And that's 90% of the battle is talking with your elected representative and
Right.
talking with the legislative body and getting down there, just like all these people.
Yeah. Hey,
Went
one quick
down there
thing.
and talked about
Tom
it.
Cotton needs to check his answering machine.
Yeah, well, he needs to clear his voicemail for one, for one. And he needs to respond. Like, he's got to hire some other people to do like some I don't know, some email reading, at a minimum. What did Uric have to say? Compare that to our city council. Heck, they talked about not even hearing us at meetings anymore. Yeah, they did. They did. That discussion took place at the first city council meeting for the new city council, to where they could limit the ability of your speech, right?
Yep.
They could limit you to talking about agenda items only.
Now,
Or
who mentioned that? Who brought that up, Chris?
I think it was Doug Fowler and Winnie Hughes,
Yeah.
right? They both had that dialogue, and but I remember the first actual regular city council meeting where Wendy said no. That discussion, I think Larry Kelly came in and asked the question. There was discussions during the work session. No, that never happened. But do we got to roll that beautiful bean footage? Maybe tomorrow. How about that? Tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's only a day away.
I think we're well over an hour, man. We're running this tight.
Yeah, we are. We're trying to get through this. I'm sorry, y'all. It's running long, but this is a lot to unpack. This is the day that I needed, though. A day of Arkansans showing up to the State House, doing what they do, taking part in the process. And this is what's beautiful about it. All these state senators start kind of cluing in, like, man, this is wrong. This is wrong. Something wrong here, right? And we'll get over to Lori Frank, another Bella Vistan. Let's bring up this.
Lori Frank. Ms. Frank, you'll come up and introduce yourselves and tell us who you're with. And
Navy veteran.
Proceed.
Right? Just wanted to move to Bella Vista and do something cool for herself.
Good morning. My name is Lori Frank. I'm a citizen and STR owner in Bella Vista, Arkansas. In 2019, we bought the home. At the time, I was stationed in San Antonio, Texas. I retired from the Navy, and I moved to Bella Vista. We do own an STR, and we also own a couple of long-term rentals. I don't really have a lot of new things to say, other than the fact that I believe that the Bella Vista area has imposed onerous regulations and inspections against us. One of the inspections that they called for in this new regulation was septic. They put no criteria for the septic inspection, and now one of the largest septic in the area have refused to handle the inspection because there was no written criteria given when they passed the regulation.
Say what? Say what? Say what? Wait. Bella Vista wrote a legislative, a law. They passed a law, right?
Who was the person?
But they never talked to a sewer company. I thought Doug talked to everybody, right? Even the sewer company's like, no, this is BS, man, because we're gonna get sued, right?
Right.
We can't predict a failure. We can only say what the current status is when we looked at it that day.
This is like the kid coming up to the ride. You're just not tall enough, kid. And they push him back. Then next year he comes back. You're not tall enough, kid.
And he comes in wearing like high-heeled shoes and stuff, man. And he's like, you know what? I'm tall enough now, bitch. Okay, ride, man. You know what I mean? But I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? Your city ordinance sucks. How about that? Can we be adults for a moment and just say this? Insurance companies aren't going to give you what you want. Sewer companies or septic companies aren't going to give you what you want. And on top of it, you'll want to come into the house.
Right.
Do you do this stuff for businesses, normal businesses? Like if I wanted to start up, I don't know, Chris's Crafts, right? And I just sell stuff that I like. Do you want to come in and inspect my sewer? Do you want to come in and inspect everything else? Right? No, you don't. You just want your money, right? That's it. It's predatorial government, man. It's predatorial government in Bella Vista. Really, is what it boils down to. It's the mob, man. It's the mafia. The three-legged stool, baby. It's coming. Man, they'll grab a leg off that stool and beat you down, too. They're going to run you out of town. Just saying.
So I said 10% for the big guy.
So now that's pulling down the number of competitors and therefore driving up the prices for us to even find someone that can do an inspection. So I hadn't heard that today mentioned, and it is onerous, and there is great overreach here. And that's all I have
Thank
to
you for
say.
bringing that to our attention. You're correct. I don't believe that was mentioned today.
Thank you.
All right, would you mind, I just see if any
She nailed it. She nailed it, dude. She nailed it.
Blatant overreach. That's all you need to hear right there. That's just that simple.
Podcast ever going to end? No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Rory,
it's
thank
never,
you for
it's
your
never,
service, by the way, too.
It's never ending. Okay, but we're gonna wrap it up with Josh Bryant. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to unpack in this, man. There's a lot of questions from other state senators. There's a lot of questions. We're gonna wrap it up with Josh Bryant because he compiled some data during this hearing and then he made a final statement. And I love his final statement.
Yep.
bill as amended?
As amended, I don't have it over there, but from what I recall, this bill allows the cities, whenever they have to purchase something over
Hang on,
30.
just 1 second. Senator Petty, would you give him a copy of that? Give Bond. I don't want him.
I was in the wrong spot. Sorry
Mr.
about that,
Chair.
y'all.
I love this process. It brings us together to try to solve issues that face us. I took some notes, excellent questions, excellent points brought from our citizens and our stakeholders. Somebody asked a question about, is this direct competition between hotels and not? Heard this morning that our hospitality association is going to remain neutral on the bill. I don't think, as long as the playing field is equal and taxation is upheld, there's really no disagreement between them. It's two different products that are being offered to our citizens. As far as a comment made regarding if citizens want to vote to exclude them within a community, I have not heard of a city wanting or being able to vote away a constitutional right.
Wait a minute. Okay, so that was a comment made. I think it was from Conway, the Conway planner, right?
Right.
He's like, well, we just put it on the ballot, and so nobody in Bella Vista can own a gun. We're going to put it on the ballot and let the majority rule, right? No,
It doesn't work like that.
These are constitutional rights.
Yeah, that's
given
what Josh
to
was
you
saying.
by God, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't just vote it away. It doesn't work that way.
It's so preposterous, though. But it's so mind-boggling. Someone would think.
You know
that,
what I'm
though.
saying? You're laughing over here, man. It's true though, man. It's like, man, I don't think you should be able to talk anymore. And the whole community says, Chris and Mark can't have a podcast no more.
Right.
Shit. It doesn't work that way, bro. It doesn't work that way. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk till as long as there's air in my lungs. I'm gonna talk, and as long as there is a spark in my body, I'm gonna fight. That's it. That's it, man. I mean, but no. Apparently, in Conway, we can just put it on the ballot and the majority can vote your constitutional rights away. No, it doesn't work. And I love the fact that Bryant brought this up. Josh brought it up. He said, wait a minute. I can't recall.
Voted constitutional right away.
You gotta laugh at this stuff, man, because are we really there? Are we really there where people think it's okay to just arbitrarily take away your constitutional rights? Yes,
Well,
we are there. We're there.
Yeah. Well, he's right behind him. Oh, man. That's too much.
I don't think they'd want to do that, but this bill doesn't limit platted subdivisions or other areas that are set within the city boundaries to organizing a property owners association or homeowner association for, if nothing else, than to organize.
Hey, by the way, Ross said he votes that Mark has to talk faster in order to complete his sentences. I talk fast. You don't.
To exclude a short-term rental within that community. That's what the availability of that process is. Tourism. I think Senator Stubblefield, you said, is this a Northwest Arkansas a problem? I think there's several communities and several more on the way. I think even a community here in Pulaski County is debating that this week, I believe tonight. I think we need to take a stand to say we need to set straight the record of where our property rights are, which I believe are, as Senator Stubblefield said, I have the right to use my property as long as I'm using it for the right use. And the city has the ability to police over the nuisance issues that are afforded to every homeowner, regardless if owner occupied, long-term or short-term. I believe that's where we need to be.
Wait, did he just say that the police should do their job? I think he did. Man. You know, I mean, like maybe when you call, maybe they should show up and say, hey, man, quieten it down. If we have to show up, somebody's getting cited.
Well, yeah, that's what he was saying. In city ordinances with the police, a lot of this stuff would go away, right? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we've recognized this to where the city police are selectively deciding what they wanted to do. No, it should be equal and fair and balanced across the board. Same thing with code regulations. People parking on SB2 gravel or not parking on SB2 gravel, right?
Yep.
You see see the picture we're painting, y'all?
Yeah, it's a snowball effect, man. It's just like we were talking about the jails. The Benton County Jail is maxed out. So
you can't have a white fence, but Bob can have a white fence.
Yeah. You're going to pick and choose what they're going to enforce because they just don't have the room to send these people. If you got a guy's being belligerent and out of control and you have to arrest them, what's it going to do, you know?
You can't park your RV on your property for 3 days without getting written up about it. But Bob down the road, who's not visible from a main road, can do it for a year, right?
Right.
Selective enforcement. Much?
Right. Yeah.
That happens in Bella Vista all day long. So just saying.
Yep.
Let's get Josh out of here, and then we're going to close it down, man.
All right, man.
We've been live for almost, dude, we've been on live for almost 2 hours, man.
Yeah, we got to wrap her up.
So I think another comment made is the amount of taxation that short-term rentals generate. I think I was told over $100 million generated in the Hot Springs community. I'm not sure if Senator McKee can confirm that or not, but a lot of taxation. I know you were on Quorum Court is generated.
That can't be right. That's not right.
This property.
Well, that's probably right.
100 million?
So, in closing, I appreciate the committee's willingness to hear both sides of the issue. And with that, I appreciate a good vote. Motion do pass.
All right, members, we got a motion.
That's it, baby. So it passed. Now it's going to the Senate floor.
Yep.
More, I guess, more to follow. To be continued.
Can't wait.
But gotta give a shout out to all the Bella Vistans that showed up strong, did what they had to do, and we're gonna keep this fight going. You know, do it the right way.
Yeah, Michelle, Sandy, Shauna, Stacy. I mean, whoever else I'm missing. Great job.
I'm not gonna cross. I'm not gonna cross streams with any of them, man, because like, dude, they will rip me a new one, man. You know
they will.
But they came in strong, man. They came in with facts, everything else.
Yeah.
And dude, that's the beauty of this country, man, is being able, like, your freedom of speech is paramount to everything, right?
Yeah.
And being able to be resourceful enough and bold enough to go out there and get you some of that. You know what I'm saying? And like, dude, we overwhelmed. I mean, at one point, one of these senators was like, is this exclusive to Bella Vista? It seems Bella Vista's overrepresented here. No, it's not exclusive to Bella Vista, but Bella Vista's leading the charge on it, man. They really are. And you're trying to protect Arkansans for their property rights. And I have to commend you for that. You guys are standing up.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing. And you're standing on that hill of truth and your own conviction.
Flawless
That's all
execution,
that
man.
anybody in this world can ever be asked to do.
Yep.
It really is. To that, I say I love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, man.
Yeah.
We can't do this without you.
and shine the light on the rot in Denmark. Well, you know, Peter Christie went to Denmark, and he came back a changed man.
Yeah.
And we're all dealing with the consequences of that. So who knows what he smoked over there? Who knows?
Yeah.
But till tomorrow or the next day, who knows? We'll see you. We love
Take it
you.
easy, everybody.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit up our merch shop. We don't advertise that enough. We're just trying to make the bills work out, man. That's it. If you want to buy a t-shirt, hat, tumbler, whatever. Support the show. We got bills to pay, y'all. We out. That's it.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks again.
Later.